So, you want to hear a story, huh? One about treasure hunters. Have I got a story for you?
See, Gearbox? That is exactly how you start a Borderlands movie. Not with the movie starting out being narrated by Lilith, and not even an unfortunate skag opening to be seen. It's very clear within the first 30 seconds that this movie is being made with no actual understanding of the source material. And by the time it's over, you'll sit there wondering if it was their actual intent to wipe their ass with the source material.
Why the hell is your ass so dirty? Don't you wipe?
While attempting to soft reboot the Borderlands story along the way for newer fans. And in a classic case of trying to appeal to everyone, Gearbox and Lionsgate Studios end up appealing to absolutely no one. So, let's talk about the Borderlands movie's biggest hindrance. It's PG-13 rating. In a movie where you have a 13-year-old that's allowed to use guns and snap people's necks, you can't say fuck or pop a head with one of those guns. And let me tell you, there's quite a few moments where a well-placed F-bomb or head pop would have just been oh so satisfying. Especially a few scenes in the movie where Krieg is just fucking shit up. He is kicking some major ass. But his buzz axe is literally sparking off of the Psycho's masks. It feels like watching him bury his buzz axe into someone's head and watching him struggle to pull it out would have gone a long way to add in some well-needed authenticity to the action scenes. In fact, because the action scenes was more flashy cuts and spinny gun fu and less head pops and dismemberment, there were moments when I felt like the action scenes just drug on way too long. And I was like, damn, can y'all motherfuckers just get to the next portion of the adventure, please? Had there been some Kill Bill levels of gore, watching the cast tear through literally hundreds of psychos in each scene would have gone a long way in payoff. Now, speaking of the cast, this is one of the largest points of contention pre-release for most fans. But truth be told, it's actually one of the least distracting parts of the movie for me. Wow, I feel like the movie could have definitely been casted better, and more importantly, a bit more accurately. It really doesn't matter who played any of the characters in the movie. The plot, the writing, and the visuals of this movie are so poorly done that you barely even notice the miscasting. The acting in the movie is honestly one of the last things that I noticed, because I'm constantly sitting there scratching my head at some of the decisions regarding the characters, their backstories, and motivations. And let's just say that some of these characters' backstories and motivations are quite regarded.
I'm retarded?
Let's be honest. All the actors in the film are capable actors in their own rights. And they did the best they could given the material they had to work with. I will say, though, that Jack Black as Claptrap is just not doing it for me. It's bad enough that Claptrap sounded abhorrent in Borderlands 3. But Jack Blacktrap is probably the worst Claptrap that we've seen to date.
Pancake! Pancake! No pancake! No pancake!
And sadly, it seems like without David Eddins voicing the character of Claptrap, Claptrap just doesn't really work at all. However, I will say that I did enjoy Ariana Greenblatt in Love and Monsters, and I think she does a really good job of portraying Tiny Tina, especially ditching the white girl with the cringy black set that makes her character in-game so hard to stomach at times, especially after multiple playthroughs of the game. Sadly, these actors' talents are wasted by a script that I shit you not, feels like it was written by a ChatGPT AI, with many of the quips and one-liners being so cliche that I found myself guessing the lines before the actors even muttered them. And this was my first time seeing the movie. Seriously, within the first 30 seconds of Kevin Hart being introduced on screen, they already made a joke about his height. And the same goes for Lilith. One of her first lines in the movie, outside of her opening narration, is,
I'm too old for this shit.
It feels like someone took the already existent plot of Borderlands, which is already kind of incoherent in its own right, and they tried to jumble all the pieces around to make a coherent story grounded in reality. But in reality, it just presents itself as really bad fan fiction. And that's kind of fitting, really, because the costumes in the movie present themselves as really bad cosplay. And as bad as the costumes are, the rest of the visual choices in the film, especially the mixture of practical effects with CGI, leads to a really jarring visual experience.
Oh, stop it, you. It wasn't that bad.
You really jarred something loose, Tiger.
Especially in a scene early on where the Atlas army is on a cliff with a mix of Ford Raptors with body cladding looming over the horizon with CGI stingrays floating overhead. It almost looks like there's a smear of Vaseline over top the stingrays where the editors tried to Gaussian blur and blend the digital effects with the practical. And you can see this same jarring mix of CGI on Commander Knox's gender-swapped face pasted on her stunt actor's body while she's zooming around on her moon zoomy that's not on the moon. But I think the biggest travesty of this film is the actual story. As someone who has written Borderlands stories in their own time and have currently sitting on multiple storylines for the Borderlands franchise. It's really heartbreaking knowing that you can write a better story than the people that actually work for the franchise. And yes, there are going to be major spoilers from here on out. But, I mean, let's be real. If you're watching a review of the movie without seeing the movie and you care about spoilers, you're really doing this to yourself, you know?
Okay, mercy, you win, I give, game on.
The entire story is predicated around Tiny Tina being...
I'm the only one who can open the vault.
In fact, she's a clone of either Lilith or Lilith's mother. They never really explain which, but considering that the blood on the vault key that Atlas found in her mother's possession after she was killed, and Lilith's mother having blonde hair in the flashback hologram that Lilith's mother, Princess Leia, into Claptrap's memory bank like he's R2 fucking D2.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
It's looking like they wanted a story where Tina has no real parents and Lilith lost her mother. And while Tina, at the end, gets her parental figures with Lilith and Roland, Lilith also gets a living memory of her mother back with Tina as a clone. You can't even make this shit up! However, Tina, she's a clone that Atlas produced from the blood on the vault key to open the vault. Roland and Krieg are there to keep her safe along the way until they can figure out what to do with her. And the whole time, Tina's bragging about how she's the chosen one, the daughter of Iridians. And then, spoiler alert, it's actually Lilith the entire time. Like, that's the worst plot twist of all. We all know that Lilith's the fucking Firehawk! So then, Lilith puts the vault key in, stands on the vault pads, and the Iridian lines travel up the architecture into her body, giving her the siren tattoos. And then she proceeds to say, it's Morbin time. And then she morbs all over everyone and everything until the film climaxes in a Kamehameha fight between Lilith and the bunker. Yes, the bunker.
The bunker is the place.
Which is now owned, operated, and controlled by the Atlas Corporation. Fast forward several fake Vault Hunter deaths later, Lilith then takes Atlas into the vault and lets the Destroyer of Worlds eat him. And then they leave the vault, which is probably the most accurate thing about the story. That they went into the vault and there wasn't shit in there but a big-ass tentacle monster. Which, by the way, after they leave the vault, no one seems to mention or be concerned about the big-ass planet-eating monster in the vault. Nah, they decide to go back to Firestone, have a party, get drunk, and then we get to watch Lilith, once again, girl on fire herself, and yeet herself into the air for Tina's amusement. Which, considering the community's reaction to the ending of Borderlands 3, just kind of feels like Randy Pitchford dragging his dick across the face of every Borderlands fan that's made it this far into the movie. And he's making sure that it touches your lips as he drags his greasy, sweaty summer sausage right across our collective foreheads. In fact, the best part of this movie is knowing that Randy Pitchford spent all of Borderlands' lifetime profits just to make sure that he has his name as an executive producer on a big budget Hollywood film. And in the end, might have actually have his name attached to one of the biggest box office blunders of all time. Because this movie will be free on streaming platforms before the end of August. Please believe that. So, my name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. If you please thumb up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it because it gives me motivation to make more videos for y'all motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. But I think I summed shit up pretty well here in this video. But if y'all motherfuckers got anything that you really want to add to this, go ahead in the comment section. Spoilers, I don't give a fuck about. Like I said, is if you haven't seen this movie and you're already on this video reading this shit, and you're like, I should have spoiled it. You did this to yourself, sir. Just like Randy did this to himself. Just spending all of Borderlands' profits to make sure that his name is on the worst movie of all time. I don't think I've seen a movie worse than this. And I seen that fucking shit with Shaq, where he was the genie. I don't even remember that fucking movie. It was like Kazam or something. I saw that movie, and I also saw the other Shaq movie, Steel. It was a big piece of shit too. I'd rather watch that than this Borderlands movie, though. To be honest, let me know what y'all thoughts in this comment section down below. My name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see y'all motherfuckers later.